Hey, what's going on, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. Alright, let's get back to basketball. Let's get back to something I actually know about. Ja Morant. Street clothes at the end of the game. Just saw footage. I guess Brandon Clark was having a interview with their local person, possibly at the side of the court, and you could see like the back end of the camera angle behind the scenes. You could see those guys, the rest of the team, Ja and several others, Jaren Jackson, and they're screaming Grizz in 7. And they, Ja goes over there and grabs the microphone from her and says it so the entire arena could hear it over the PA. Grizz in 7. And I'm just saying to myself, yes, you did just blow out the Warriors in such a way to make you feel as good as you do. To think that you can just go in there and get an easy win and then go and get another one in your building. But, I was looking in the comment section and someone said they're showing their age. And I was thinking, yeah. No one who's had their heart broken repeatedly, teams, basketball-wise, is going to behave that way when they are in the middle of a playoff series like this, especially when you're down in the series and you're down a whole superstar and he's leading the charge and he ain't gonna be playing. I think you're bringing all the worst energy your way when you act that way. You're asking for the universe to just send you the worst. I'm not saying they're gonna go in there and lose, because they don't have to go that way at all, but I'm just saying that's the type of humility that usually gets hit with the worst type of consequences, man. You gotta be more humble. You can't, when you back it up, it's cool, and as long as they continue to win, I always say this about Ja and his team, as long as they're continuing to win, it's amusing to me. But the moment you slip, you look crazy. That's all I'm saying. And they are really, really pushing it with that one. You are giving a Golden State Warrior team who just got humiliated, who's headed back to their house, still with the opportunity to close you out, all the bulletin board material in the world to help motivate them to play better. Now, I'm not saying it will translate, because they look real bad. They look real bad. But when you live long enough, you just kind of know this type of thing usually gets spanked. You just get a spanking after doing this. I don't know. Just more than not, you do. And I think, I think about Al Horford and what happened with Giannis in that whole exchange in Game 5. Or was it Game 4, rather? And I just look at the Memphis Grizzlies. I say, you guys are in no position to be poking a bear like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson like that. And especially when Klay Thompson, and you look at how he shot tonight and you realize he did shoot a little better. He's trending upward. And you doing this to them? That's crazy, fam. Headed back to their building? I would not do that. Not to those guys. Not to those guys. No. Not to somebody who could shoot like that. And maybe it baits him into shooting too much. Maybe Steph Curry tries to jack up 30 shots just in response to this and ends up shooting himself out of it. But these old champs, man. These old champs. And the thing about it is, this particular game is like, you gotta understand, they're not working with their coach. He should be back sometime soon. I think a lot of what went wrong down there was a reflection of them not having him down there. I really do believe that. And I listened to Draymond Green's podcast afterward. And he was explaining his point of view. And the one thing that he said, just to kind of segue it on, that kind of made me feel kind of uneasy about believing in them, is he said that they learned coming into this arena today that closing this team out would be difficult. And then I'm saying to myself that Draymond Green learned that it would be difficult closing a team out. That's not something the Golden State Warriors as a team should have to learn. I know they have a lot of young players, but that doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, a lot of those players are new. You think about Jordan Poole, you think about Andrew Wiggins, obviously the young guys like Kuminga. So I can understand where they would learn, but that's not the meat and potatoes of this team. The meat and potatoes of this team is Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. And everything else going on should be them preparing those guys for what it is that they're going to be facing. Especially when you're down your coach. And see, that's another reason why I can't really just look at Mike Brown and say, yo, he's the only thing that went wrong for that team. Because the reality is they do have those stars, and they didn't come together to provide a game plan that could, match what it is that they were going to be facing this evening. And he said the matchups were significantly different. And I said in a previous video that you got these hairline sensitivity on your rosters. You can't just pluck one guy and expect to see anything be the same. It almost changes everything. So when that is the case, and they're obviously plucking players in and out of this series, yeah, the Golden State Warriors had to make some serious adjustments. Ja's not out there. So the way they adjusted was as if they didn't understand what it is that they could be facing. That's what it seemed like to me. And, for them to have the type of, boldness as to say we're going to go in there and whoop that trick. You saw what happened to them tonight, Grizzlies. You did it to them. You see how the universe treated them for coming up in there saying whoop that trick to y'all? It's funny to me. I mean, I guess it's because I look at things a certain way, but if I'm the facilitator of the karma, shouldn't I also too learn the lesson? You know what I mean? Like, am I not watching them go through it? I'm the one that's beating them. I'm the one that's the way the karma came to them. Should I not too gain the wisdom from the mistake they've made? And that's the point of the video. I'm here to say it's like the Warriors got spanked by 50 after that. And you're going to turn around and scream Grizz in 7 when y'all down in the series 2 games, headed back to their building. After you didn't demoralize them. No, I think the best way to do things in this situation, a team that has had their heart broken, what they're gonna do, they're gonna take all that they saw tonight and they're gonna think about it. They're gonna study it. They're gonna go over film. They're going to be humble. They're going to get their rest. They're going to do their nutrition. They're going to do whatever it is they got to do to keep their minds right. Get early rest, not play around that night. Make sure they catch the flight, whatever the case may be. Be prompt, be professional. They're going to come in and be ready for a hostile environment. Be expecting the type of energy that they put out in Game 5. Expect the Golden State Warriors to want to drop the 130 points on them in their house because you did that to them. If you come out with that mentality, then you may actually be able to back up all that dumb stuff y'all was doing tonight. But if you don't, well, you go learn a lesson that you should have learned tonight when you was beating the heck out of the Golden State Warriors by 50 points. That's pretty much all I got to say. My name is BDL44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.